Greetings, my dear friends. This is SoulWeaver. Today I want to talk about something we have touched on before, about signs, about synchronicity, about how the universe communicates with us, in what language it speaks, and why we so often miss its messages. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the universe speaks to you, not with a voice, not with letters, but with signs? Coincidences that are hard to call random. You think about someone, and a few seconds later, they text you. You turn on the radio and hear a song that has been stuck in your head all morning. You open a book to a random page and read the answer to a question that has been bothering you for weeks. Coincidence or a message? I think the universe is constantly talking to us. The question is not whether it speaks. The question is whether we know how to listen. What language does the universe speak? That is a complex question. It does not use words in the usual sense. It does not speak English. It does not speak Spanish. It does not speak Chinese. It speaks the language of synchronicity, the language of signs, the language of numbers, the language of coincidences. One of the most obvious languages is the language of numbers. You look at the clock and see repeating numbers. You buy coffee and get change with an unusual number. You drive behind a car with a license plate that has a repeating combination. Coincidence? Maybe. But maybe it is a hint. Maybe the universe is trying to get your attention. I personally have noticed certain numbers for many years. On clocks, on receipts, on bus numbers. I still do not know what they mean, but I know it is not random. Numbers are the simplest language. They require no translation. They are understood by everyone, and they grab attention precisely because of their inexplicability. But the universe speaks not only through numbers, it speaks through billboards. You are driving through the city, thinking about a problem, and you look up at a billboard, and there is a phrase that answers your question, or a word you just said to yourself. Coincidence? What if it happens more than once? It speaks through songs on the radio. You get into the car with heavy thoughts. You turn on the radio, and a song plays that was important to you many years ago. Or a song whose lyrics perfectly describe your situation, as if someone pressed an answer button. It speaks through articles on the internet. You scroll through your feed, not thinking about anything in particular, and you come across a headline that hits the mark, as if the algorithm knows more than you told it, or as if it is not the algorithm. It speaks through people who cross our path. You randomly meet someone in line, and a month later, that person becomes your business partner, or your best friend, or your teacher. You walk into a cafe, sit at an empty table, and accidentally overhear a conversation that solves your problem. Here is what I have noticed. The more I pay attention to such coincidences, the more often they happen. As if the universe says, "Oh, you are listening? Then I will speak louder." But there is one problem. We do not know how to ask questions. We constantly think about things, but we rarely formulate them clearly. We worry, we stress, we doubt. But we do not tell the universe, "I need a sign. I want to understand." And if we do not believe we will receive an answer. Maybe it is all about how we ask questions. A typical question sounds like, "Why is everything going wrong for me?" Or, "When will this finally end?" That is a victim's question. It does not expect an answer. It expects a complaint. But there is another way. The way Gurdjieff wrote about. The fourth way, self-remembering. Gurdjieff said that most people are asleep. They live like machines.
They eat
work, talk, argue, love, but all of it happens automatically. They do not remember themselves. They do not realize who they are in each moment. To wake up, you need to practice self-remembering. Whatever you are doing, eating, walking down the street, washing dishes, talking to a friend, you must remember yourself. Be aware that you are here, that you exist, that you are observing what is happening. And when you are in that state, you can ask questions, real questions, not from the head, not from fear, not from desire, but from the silence within. And then the universe answers. Not always immediately, not always as you expect, but it answers. But there is another way, more direct, through thoughts. What if the universe speaks to us through our own thoughts? What if that idea that suddenly came into your head is not your idea? What if someone put it there? Consider this. There is ancient wisdom that says there is a quiet voice inside every person. Not the voice of conscience in the usual sense, but something deeper. A source of wisdom that is always available. But we do not hear it because we drown it out with noise. Television, social media, the endless stream of news. We have stopped hearing ourselves, and therefore we have stopped hearing the universe. What if higher consciousness, call it God, the universe, the source, speaks to every one of us all the time, but we do not listen? We are busy. We are distracted. We consider our thoughts ours and do not allow the possibility that someone might be speaking through us. What if we simply do not recognize this voice because we are used to thinking that all thoughts in our head belong only to us? This idea turns our perception of reality upside down. It says that we are not isolated islands of consciousness. We are receivers. We are antennas. We are capable of picking up signals that pass through the field of the universe. And some of these signals we decode as our thoughts. But in reality, they are answers, hints, directions. Then signs are not external events. They are internal hints that are reflected outward. You think about someone and they call. It is not a coincidence. It is synchronicity. Your thought and their action coincided in time because you are both connected to the same field. You feel that you should not get on that train, and later you learn it was in an accident. That is not paranoia. That is knowledge. Access to information that has not yet manifested in the physical world. We all possess this ability, but we do not train it. We drown it out with noise. One book that changed my perception had a phrase that stuck with me. Your life is not what happens to you. Your life is what you pay attention to. We do not get what we ask for. We get what we pay attention to. If you constantly think about problems, you will only see problems. If you look for signs, you will start noticing them. The question is not whether the universe sends signs. It does. The question is whether you are ready to see them. I suggest a simple experiment. Over the next week, try to pay attention to coincidences. Write them down. When you think of someone and they call, when you see a strange number, when you stumble upon the right article, when you accidentally hear the answer to your question, see how often it happens. You will be surprised. And one more thing, learn to ask questions, not to complain, not to whine, but to actually ask, clearly, without fear. What do I need to understand? Where should I go? What am I doing wrong? and allow yourself to hear the answer. It may not come immediately. It may not come in words. It may come as a feeling, as an image, as a dream, as a random phrase from a stranger, but it will come. I do not know if God exists. I do not know if the universe has consciousness. I do not know if higher powers speak to us. But I know that when I started paying attention to signs, my life changed. I became calmer. I became more confident. I started being in the right place at the right time more often. Maybe it is just psychology. Maybe it is the expectation effect. Maybe I am creating these coincidences myself. Or maybe I finally started listening. And now, listen to the silence between these words. Have you ever felt it? A gentle push from within. Not a word, not an image, but a feeling, as if someone is watching you from behind the veil of reality and showing you signs, not because they want to confuse you, but because they want you to notice, to wake up. Signs are not fate, they are hints. You look at the clock and you see repeating numbers. This is not magic. This is a reminder. You are part of something greater, and that something greater knows that you are searching. It waits. It watches. It speaks in the language of numbers, images, coincidences. All that is left is to learn to listen. And perhaps, one day, you will not just see a sign, you will hear its voice. And then, everything will change. This is SoulWeaver. If this resonated with you, subscribe. Stay. We are just beginning. Until next time, dream, question, and remember, no one really knows. But it's beautiful to think about.